Today I'll be giving you guys a review of the Samsung S95F. This is going to be a final review, an honest review, and we're just going to dive in. This is not a TV I would recommend. So out of the gate, this is what your picture quality looks like to the right. By comparison, this is the junior flagship Samsung S90D to the left. The S90D is not the flagship of 2024, and 2025's flagship can't keep up out of the box. Now, the image to the left is rocking my unique settings. That enters the next part of this. You're going to have to know how to do what I do in order to get a picture out of the S95F to the right, anywhere near what we have on the left. Now, if you join my membership for $4.99, I can change your picture quality from looking absolutely irredeemable to something that you might actually enjoy again, okay? And then you can start to see a lot more of the picture quality that you might want. Now into the next part of the problem. It's not just the picture quality that's the issue. For whatever reason, this year, I think F in the 95 series stands for two things: flat and failure. Because again, if you don't have an advanced level of skill, you're not going to be able to fix how flat the TV will come. You're always going to be grabbing for your remote and wondering what is wrong with your TV specifically for it to look like this. All the raging reviews say it's amazing. It's like bright and gorgeous and perfect. That's what they do. They're marketers. Every year they find a TV, they glow it up, they gas it up, they make you think it's the best thing ever. And then they move on to the next product and do the exact same thing. There's so many YouTube channels like that. Not here to address them specifically. It's more for you. And the reality is you're not going to be getting an image like what I've just created with my unique settings. Yes, this TV is technically capable of that, which is why I did the toggle in real time to show you. But again, you're not going to be getting that. What you're going to be getting, more realistically, is going to look something like this, okay? Your TV is just not going to come good. And anyone selling you the myth that out of the box these TVs look good is lying to you. You're going to be tinkering and trying to get there yourself, always feeling like it's missing something, which will make you want to upgrade to a better TV. And even after you get it where you want it, there is just such a lack of contrast that in a lot of scenes, in a lot of cases, it just doesn't feel worth it, and colors are wildly inaccurate. Now, let's say you can genuinely forgive that. That ain't the only problem with this TV. Okay, the other problem is that for whatever reason, it's probably one of the dumber TVs I've ever seen. Typically, if you have a device hooked up, you can rename your HDMI imports and inputs and stuff like that. When I tell you I have had an extremely difficult time doing this, I'm not joking. See, typically you go to connected devices where you'd have something like, let's say, a PC. You just push up on that and then you'd be able to edit it. But at no point in time am I able to edit the name of this PC. And not being able to change the name of your inputs means you're stuck with it being called whatever it's called. Now, again, for some people, this might not be a big deal, but for PC gamers that want total control over their devices, this is a massive deal breaker because it effectively means you can't use this TV for PC gaming at all. Now, why is this relevant? Well, if I go over and I grab my remote and I show you in real time on the other TV that I have here, last year's model, let's say I want to go home and do the same thing. Under connected devices, you go over to the device that you want, like let's say my Xbox. If I go down here, there's a tab that says edit. You're supposed to be able to edit, brings up this sub menu. You name it to whatever you want and you change the icon and the device to whatever you want. The relevancy is you have total control over your product. This year, under connected devices, as you can clearly see, you go home, you go to connected devices, you are so limited to the point where you don't have the ability to edit your HDMI inputs. All you can do is click select. That's literally your only option. You've lost a feature that is so paramount, so fundamentally important when you talk about PC gaming and other gaming and things of the like that it is genuinely ridiculous. Now, again, I do want to stress and emphasize the picture quality loss that you are going to have out of the box. As you see, that's what your beach looks like when you get it. Now, unless you know how to do what I do and do that, or you're willing to join for $4.99, just call it $5. That's what you're going to get. It's disgusting. And I'm not joking when I say this has one of the worst contrast ratios I've ever measured in my time testing. Contrast ratio was 166,000 to 1. You can find some really bad, IPS panels that do that. The fact that this is hitting an LED territory as an OLED for contrast should tell you everything you need to know about why it's flat. and I have the actual measurements to back that up versus just saying that it looks gorgeous with camera tricks like other YouTubers will do. The reality is the numbers back it up, what you're seeing on camera backs it up, and at the end of the day, it's a very real and very telling statement. I wouldn't buy this TV, guys. If you've already bought this TV, I'm sorry that maybe you invested in the wrong TV. I would return it and get a Samsung S90D from last year or an S95D from last year. The top billing being the S95D after all the firmware updates. Because I'm just saying, when you look at this image, it tells you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. Look at the beach right now. This is your standard mode. This is what they say the standard viewer should watch, okay? Now, let's say you're of the purist crowd and you want to use reference accuracy. Well, your reference accurate mode looks like this, okay? This is what you're getting out of the box. Not fantastic, not great. You have low contrast ratio, decent colors if you have the ability to, again, join my membership and get color that looks like that, okay. Decent color, great, I grant you, but look at the ocean. You're never going to get to the same level of the junior flagship OLED from last year. The S90D is still beating this TV. This TV is bright. It's over 4,000 nits. Fantastic. But that's about all it offers. Everything else is literally a loss. You can't rename your inputs properly unless I just haven't found it. And even if it is the case where I just haven't found it, it should not be as difficult as it is, because literally in all the other years, it was not this difficult. Literally to the point where I am genuinely wondering if that feature even exists. I have even tried to go down here to edit to see if I could go here and edit, and there is nothing but remove and rearrange. This is literally all you can do with your inputs. That is, I cannot stress, when they talk about 144 hertz, 165 hertz, all this advanced refresh rates, that is the one thing that is going to keep this TV out of the hands of PC gamers, which was this year a very big highlight to try to be competitive with some other brands. They have failed every PC gamer because you cannot rename that, meaning you're stuck in PC mode, which means, in case you don't know why that's a big deal, if you were ever wondering what was the big reason why we don't want that, is because when you go in here and you look at your options and all of your settings, they are gimped and neutered. You have virtually no real control. It's this like shell of a mode. And it doesn't feel good. I'm not gonna lie. It really feels like a very shoddy, very cheap, very not exciting mode to be in. And that's the thing with all of these kind of like graphics modes and stuff like that. They force you into these presets and they don't give you options. And that's one thing I don't have patience for. Now again, this is not for everybody. It's not gonna be something that everybody's going to appreciate as a negative. I understand that. But not being able to name your inputs means you don't have control over all the other inputs. And that's where I draw the line and ultimately lose patience with it, because, again, you lost something that's so basic that literally every TV until this point that I've run across in the modern age has had. And this one doesn't have it, and I don't have patience for it. Then you factor in the sound. The sound quality is not great. I can't show you sound because YouTube copyright would literally just block all audio, and then this video would be pointless anyway. So the reality is, you know, you're not winning in the sound, you're not winning in the contrast, you're not winning in the picture department. You do have excellent brightness, not even winning in the PC gaming department. I don't know who this TV was made for. I don't know who would want this TV or why you would even waste your money and time on it. Because when you really look at what it is not doing, it's doing way less than what it ever offered. And at that point, you are at a complete and total loss for the price point that they are asking for. For that, I would highly recommend going to last year's QD OLEDs across the board from Sony to Samsung. They're both better than anything Samsung has done this year. The F this year truly stands for failure, truly stands for flat. It has nothing really to offer most people. And if this is a TV that you want, I do have settings for it if you are insistent. But it is not a TV I would personally recommend, given how low the contrast is and how weak its performance metrics are. And that's just as real as it gets. I would say, okay, next, and move on to something better. That's just me. That being said, let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments down below. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty. I give this a failing grade, despite all the ranting and raving reviews, because there's more to picture quality than HDR. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.